Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Regular Silence with Arthur, Nikki, Nicole, where you can unleash your inner voice. So today starts season two. Season one ended with 54 episodes. Thank you, everyone, for making it possible. I could not have done it without you. Season two has some amazing people lined up. Today, kicking off season two, is the award-winning spoken word artist Tiffany Mariie is on the stage. She is from St. Louis, Missouri. She has been featured on Poetry on Patio and recognized as Blanco Beauty of the Week. She has been speaking powerful words of poetry for 6 years. So, after the countdown, please welcome this amazing woman to the stage.
You can't walk a mile in my shoes. I guarantee you what I go through, you couldn't walk up the steps in my trues. Stepping over bitches in my high top blues. Stepping on my problems in my mid top twos, I'm saying. So many. I'm proud of using my Prada shoes, but not seeing what I see through the lens I look through. I'm struggling. Weight on my shoulders, but I'm not budging. Carrying the world in my Timberlands, thumping through shit, cause I'm limitless, I'm powerful. From the outside looking in, you think I was flowerful. Peeling layers off my roses till shit becomes showerful. Pouring so much into others that my glass became hourful. It's empty. Gotta pour back into me before my glass becomes half empty. Can't go crazy on my mind, but it's tempting. Don't tempt me.
Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing today?
I am doing just fine. Just fine.
Awesome.
I'm
Thank you so
blessed.
much for
Made it
being
another
a
day.
guest.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. So tell me, how did your poetry become a passion?
So growing up as a kid, I was always like silenced. So I was never able to voice my opinions, talk about how I felt, um, things like that. In my family, I'm not gonna say we're like frowned upon, but you were like talked about if you showed certain emotions or, just wanted to just I don't know. I'm an emotional being. So I always had something that I wanted to like say or express how I felt, and I was always really vocal with how I felt about things. And growing up, they people didn't like that. They looked at it as disrespect, as you know, just I couldn't deal with it anymore. So I took it to paper because I felt like being silenced was it was like holding the real me in. So I took it to paper, and for a while I was writing books at first, and then I was like, I could do more. I want people to just actually hear this. Like this is something that more people can listen to. So I decided to take it to poetry, and starting off in St. Louis, it was really different. Um, the poetry community was really tight, so they wasn't really welcoming with new people coming in. However, um, oh, I'm so sorry. However, I'm sorry. Um, I just decided to keep going anyway. So I put my own shows and stuff on, and I did all that stuff for myself. And then they started to see me and realize, I was doing it for me. And then I got in from there, and I just kind of took over and shot up.
Wow. So you been writing all your life? Did this start as something as a child?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I've been expecting mom.
Oh,
Um,
congrats.
thank you. I'm a little under the weather, and I'm just fighting a liver disease too as well. So it's a
Oh,
bunch of stuff. But poetry is my way of getting through it every day. This is kind of what I do as a release. Your question to me was, is this something that I used to do every day? Yes. Not necessarily writing poetry, but writing down my feelings. I didn't actually turn it into poetry until 2019, when I was pregnant with my first daughter. That was like one of the most traumatic times for me. And so I really didn't know how to like deal with the emotions of being pregnant for the first time ever. And so I took to writing, and I, instead of just writing about it, I went on stage with it. And it turned out to be something great. I got recognized by a lot of the OG poets in the game. And then I kind of worked my way up because the poetry, like the entertainment scene and the poetry scene, is like they'll welcome you, but you got to show them that you really, you know what I'm saying, know what you're doing. It's not just something where they like, yeah, everybody just come on in just because you call yourself a poet. Like you really had to put in work to show them. So um, I've been doing that for since what 2019. What we in 24? About 6 years. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what type of poetry do you write? I know it's some
I
deep poetry though.
it is. So I do spoken word poetry most of the time. But I can definitely switch it up depending on what I'm booked to do. I've performed at several different events. So I've performed at erotic events, which is like sexual poetry. I've performed at poetries at colleges, poetry events at colleges, speaking out and advocating for the Black missing women. That's going that, you know, the how just that. Um, what else? Different genres, all of it. I do it all. However, I just the spoken word for me is my favorite because it's different. You don't have to
Yeah.
talk about something specific. You can kind of make it up like a story. I look at spoken word poetry like short stories. I can fit my story into 3 minutes. That's kind of how I look at poetry. Spoken word,
Spoken
anyway.
spoken word is different. I've never been able to really grasp spoken word poetry. I can write my feelings down, but I haven't grasped it yet. I don't know why.
I mean, I don't know. You gotta have I have a dark imagination, which is weird, I guess. But I think about dark things and I just put it on paper and I kind of bring it to life. Like how people write books. I don't really know how to explain it, but the things that I have in the back of my head that make me feel like, okay, that could be a movie. I write
Hmm.
that down. I write that type of stuff down and put it in words that can be relatable to any kind of crowd. Um,
Wow.
and then I just kind of I study it and I practice it at home a whole bunch of times before I actually go out and perform it because I want to give it that oomph. I gotta know it. I gotta give it that
Right.
energy on stage, which to me is what brings the spoken word poetry all together. Is that stage presence and that presentation you get off.
Right. You gotta feel it. You definitely gotta
Yeah.
feel it. So
If you
how's
don't feel
poetry changed you? Huh?
I said, if you don't feel it, the people are not going to feel it.
You're right. You're right. So how's poetry changed your life?
Um, it's helped me express myself a lot more. I can definitely tell you that. As far as like changing my life, I was never so expressive. I've always wanted to be, but like I said, I was always silenced as a kid. So growing up, becoming an adult, and doing this, I've been able to express myself more, just feel better about the things that I talk about. And when I actually go out and perform them, and other people agree, or they actually love it, or they ask for pictures and autographs after performing a piece that I didn't even think was that great, I just wanted to give it a try and a shot, you know. So it actually changed my life significantly last year is when I really felt like I can really do this at a big major level, like not just at a in home state level, like just in St. Louis. Like I realized last year that I could really take this and make this a worldwide thing for me. So um that's definitely the goal right now.
So have you thought about doing I didn't know that they had actual spot for spoken word artists. Have you thought about going to the Grammys?
No. I've always wanted to, of course, you know, watching it growing up, watching the award shows growing up, I've always wanted to do things like that. I just always thought that those were like invitation only. You had to be invited to go to places like that. So I never actually looked into what it would take for me to go and perform maybe at a pre-show or something like that for the Grammys. I've never looked into that. I've always wanted to though. Maybe I was just a little scared. I don't know.
Don't be scared. You can do it.
That's different. The Grammys, that's a lot of people, you know. Them some different kind of booze and get off the stage, you know. That's
Ah,
that's different.
you a mess. So who is one of your favorite poets?
Right now it would have to be probably Lady London. I'm not sure if anyone really knows who she is, but right now she's considered a rap artist now. But at one point in time when she first got started, she was a poet doing spoken word poetry videos in her car and in her house and uploading them to like social media. And back when we had Vine, I believe that's what it was called, like little snippets of videos, just like TikTok, just something different. Um, I started watching her and following her, and I got super inspired to do the spoken word because she was able to do it so just fluently. It came out of her as if like she gave it nothing, just it's second nature to her. And I always felt like I can do that. I'm really great with my wordplay and I'm really smart, so I know I can do that. And so I always prided myself on not being exactly like her, but just getting to a point where it could come so fluently to me. And I used her for that. And still to this day, she's like one of my biggest influences because even though she does rap music, her rap is like poetry to a beat, if that makes sense. It's not Megan Thee Stallion rap or Nicki Minaj rap. It's
Mhm.
poetry with a tune or a melody behind it. That's kind of how I look at it because she's not really rapping, she's just talking to a
Mhm.
beat. And so that's kind of how I look at it. And yeah, I love it. She's like a really good artist to me, very relatable in a lot of different ways, and so she's like my number one favorite right now as far as poets go.
Wow, I'm gonna have to look her up. I've never heard of her, but I'm definitely gonna look her up.
She's fantastic. I mean the wordplay. I can't wait. I'm gonna get there. I am. I'm gonna
You
get
already
there.
there.
I
You gotta
appreciate
speak it. You gotta speak it.
that.
So, what is one of your favorite poems?
From me,
Hmm.
my favorite probably would have to be. I have so many pieces. Oh my goodness. Um, Probably my introduction piece. Um, Only because it's always good to have a good introduction piece that people remember you by. Like this is the one piece that I go out and perform that I know people are going to remember. They're going to remember probably not the word for word, but they're going to remember something that I said, or maybe how I said it. Or you remember that girl who came on stage and she was like, I always get that. And then when I do go on stage, I never look the part of a poet, however we're supposed to look. You know, people have their specific looks of how people are supposed to look to them, what a poet is supposed to look like. But when I go out there, I'm dressed up, heels, you know, girly girl stuff. And they're not expecting that. And then you get out there and you perform, and they're not expecting that either to come out of your mouth. One seeing, you
Hmm.
know, judging a book before actually getting, you know, so
Yep.
I think my introduction piece is probably my favorite because I get the crowd's attention with that one. They're like, who she think she is? Who is Big Tiff? Because who she think she is right now? What she talking about? Like that piece right there, I promise. Like when I perform it in front of crowds, they be like, did she just say that? And yeah, I did. Cause this is my expression. This I really feel this way.
Yeah.
In the nicest, respectful way. So yeah.
Respectfully. Oh
In a
man, so
respectful way. This is the most respectful way I can say it.
that's it. So, what was your first time on the stage like?
Ooh, nervous. I was so I get nervous all the time and I got bad anxiety, but I was sweating. I mean, I felt like I should have wore the darkest colors because I had on like this really bright green onesie thing. And by the time the end of the night was over, it looked like I had peed on myself. It looked like I had like long sweat pits, and it was like spaghetti strap like this. It was so crazy. But I was extremely nervous. My hands were like sweaty, so I couldn't really hold the microphone. My words were shaky. Like I was extremely nervous because it was my first time on stage in front of no matter how many amount of people it is. It
Mm.
just was it was a lot. And it was a lot of people there because this was my own event that I was putting together at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely was nervous, super, super nervous, super scared. But I had rehearsed and practiced it so much before actually getting on stage to the point where I knew it by heart. And so I was able to give it that energy, even though I was extremely nervous. So, yeah,
Wow.
I was sweaty hands, sweaty palms, sweaty feet, sweaty sliding up out my heels and everything. However, I still was able to give it 100%. I still go back and look at that video because it's like, damn, look at where you were when you first started.
That's it.
And then look at where I am now, which I still get nervous, but I take control of that crowd
Mm-hmm.
and dominate it, and I don't get so much of the high anxiety anymore that I used to get because I used to be afraid of what the crowd was gonna think back then versus now getting up on stage and saying, all right, I'm finna go ahead and captivate them, get them all together. So yeah, it the first time was nervous. It was nerve wracking. I was nervous. I went home, probably passed out, anxiety attack 3 times
Oh
on
no.
stage. But it was fun. It was a learning experience. Everybody was like, "You did so good and good, congratulations." I was like, "Did I for real?" Because
Wow.
you know,
So
please.
you know what I'm about to ask you to do. I'm about to ask you to perform a piece. So I'm gonna give
Um,
you the stage.
all right, let me see.
What are you gonna
Um,
perform?
I'm trying to see because I had it planned out, but you had played it a couple times already. So I'm like, they ain't gonna want to keep hearing that. So let me go ahead and I guess I could just do my introduction piece since I was already talking about it.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. I'm gonna give you the
it's called
stage.
it's called Big Tiff, of course, because this is me basically introducing myself to the folks who don't know me.
All
But
right.
before I get started, I just want to tell everybody who's watching to follow me on all social media. Y'all can follow me at I am Tiffany underscore Marie at all social media. That's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, wherever you decide to find me at. This piece is also on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat. You can use it for sounds. This is my first album. I did drop it. It was only 3 pieces, but I do have more to come. Okay. All right. They call me Tiffany Marie. They say she ain't special. I say, who you talking about? Little me. I find it kind of funny how you hating on me and I ain't even introduced myself yet. They call me Big Tiff. And I noticed you said, who? The one and only with the great gift, and I'm here to show you what I can do. With very little words and a wink of an eye, I could take your man, boo. By the way that I walk and talk, I'm sure I could bag your daddy, too. My words so lethal, I stand on everything I said. No snake shit and no envy. My skin don't shed, but you heard what the fuck I said. I'm not to be played with. Cause when my scales unbalanced, I come to slay shit. I ain't really myself when I'm fucked with, so don't come to me on no fuck shit, cause I'm Big Tiff. I heard you say who again, bitch, I shapeshift. Jack of all trades, there's nothing I can't do. Buy me a pair of shoes just to run circles around you. Double that money by two, and it's only me. What is it that I can't do? Not those newest Jimmy shoes or those big ass Balenciaga shoes, but these 39.99s and other news. The way I lace up my shoes, it's a special recipe. The way they move, the special kind of grooves in the bottom of my shoes, some of you bitches ain't used to. Cause I'm Tiffany Marie, you know, the one with the ass and always hella mean. You know, the one that shop on Sheen and keep a bag of that mean green. Yes, I'm hurt. Nice to meet you. No hating shit. I just had to greet you. I like introducing myself to my haters. They say you ain't popping if you ain't got them. I had to seat them tables like waiters. So, for a recap of this, not so poetry, but this almost rap. I'm Tiffany Marie. You know, the one with the gift. The special words that come out her lips. Metaphor so cold, you need a coat for this trip. Words so heavy they sink ship. Remember, keep your daddy on lock, cause I take tips. You know, the older ones with the dip in their hip. They love Big Tiff. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all so much.
Yes, 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 yes. Love it, love it. And
Thank you.
you have a crowd on here that wants to know where they can find you on social media.
Okay, so they can find me. Um, You can find me on Instagram at I am Tiffany underscore Marie. You can find me on Snapchat at I am Tiffany underscore Marie. You can find me on TikTok at I am Tiffany underscore Marie. All social media, honestly. You can find me on Facebook at Tiffany Marie. You can also catch those pieces, the one that was playing before the show started, and the one that I just performed on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, whatever music platform you listen to, you can definitely find me on there. My album is called Hidden Colors. Make sure y'all tune in, and thank y'all for the love.
I'm getting
Thank
some
y'all, thank
love.
y'all, thank y'all.
So, my final question for you today is what's next for you?
So right now things are pretty slow motion because I'm pregnant, but baby girl is due in about 9 weeks. I have some slams coming up towards the end of the year, so like September, October time. But for now, I think my next plan is to put together an outer city tour so I can go to other cities because I've been doing this in St. Louis for so long to the point where I've performed at almost every venue they have here, and I'm just kind of ready to expand. People know who I am here. This is home, so
Mhm.
I'm ready to actually get other people to know who I am. So I think I'm going to put together, I'm not going to think, I know
You
I'm
know.
going to put together a out of city tour, maybe just a couple of cities close by, and just get my name out there some more so people can know who I am. I definitely have new pieces. I definitely have other pieces that I'm still in the process of writing. So it's definitely going to come. So be on the lookout for that. It's definitely coming.
Definitely. You got to keep me posted.
I
Definitely.
sure will. I sure will.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being a guest on Breaking the Sounds. You know, I appreciate you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
I
you
can't
for
thank you
allowing me
enough.
to come on here. I'm sorry I was a little sick. It's been a little rough for me, but you know
It's all
what?
right.
I'm here. I thank you.
You showed
um,
up.
yes, yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Everyone out there, thank you so much for tuning
Steps in my
into
truths.
another episode of Breaking
Stepping
Silence.
over bitches in my high top blues.
Kicking off season
Stepping on
2.
my problems in my mid
Please,
top
please
twos.
make
I'm
sure y'all
certain.
go support her
So
on her
many. I'm
journey
proud of you
as
and
a
I'm proud of
spoken word
shoes, but not
artist.
seeing what I see through the
She
lens I look
seems
through.
like she's not
I'm
confident, but she
struggling.
already has it. We're going to speak it in
Weight on my
existence.
shoulders, but I'm
She
not
is the
budging.
greatest spoken word artist in the
Carrying the
world.
world in my
Yes.
Timberlands, slumping
That's what I
through
like to
shit cause
hear.
I'm
You
limitless.
got to claim
I'm
it. Got to claim
That's what I love
it.
to
from the
hear.
outside looking in.
So
You
y'all
think I
please
was
continue
flawful.
to like,
Peeling
share,
layers off my
subscribe to all
bruises till
platforms
shit
for
becomes
snippets,
showerful.
updates, and more.
Pouring
A
so much
snippet of this
into
episode
others
will
that
be
my
posted
glass became
today.
powerful. It's
Please tune in Saturday for open mic at 6
gotta pour
p.m.
it
We
back
have an
into it
amazing
before my
lineup
glass
on the
becomes half
stage.
empty.
Coming up
Can't
tomorrow is
go
Breaking the
crazy. I like
Silence
mine when it's
first
tempting.
celebrity on the
Don't
stage.
tempt me.
Big V of Nappy Roots.
You
And Lord, I am so
can't
nervous,
walk
y'all.
a mile
So
in
y'all
my
pray for me
shoes.
tomorrow. I,
Not
I
these
was nervous
Nikes,
today,
these
even
Jordans,
talking to
these
Tiffany Marie.
Balenciagas, or these
So
Pradas.
for all
These
y'all young
Louis,
folks
these
out there
Campbells,
that
these
don't know who
Yeezys
Nappy
for
Roots is, it was a
only
rap group
dollars.
back in the
I'm
90s that
serious.
was famous for their
Are
songs
you
Po
curious
Folks,
about
Good
how I
Day,
do
and
it?
Ah
It's
Nah.
not likely or like
So,
me, but understand I
Tiffany,
do it like
please, please,
Nike.
please stay
You should
positive.
see how she tries
You
to
got
I
keep it
this. You're going
PG,
to
will.
the
but it's a
top.
little off. Kinda.
And thank
Thank
you so much
you.
for gracing my stage on Breaking the
You're
Silence.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
And everyone else out there, y'all tune in next time to Break the Silence together.